Hey, boys and girls, it's Mr. B, and we are still talking about writing and grammar today. We're going to talk about run on sentences. Okay, we're going to watch a video on it. Before we do, let me kind of walk you through some of the things that we've been talking about. So, yesterday we covered sentence fragments, right? So, today we're going to talk about run on sentences. Now, this is some of the biggest issues that I see in fourth grade writing, really in writing and students in general, is they have a lot of run-on sentence. Okay, a lot of run-on sentences. So run-on sentences, basically, what they are is just you don't know where to put your period, okay, or you don't know where to put your question mark, or there's not enough punctuation. It just kind of keeps on going on and on and on. That's why they call it a run-on, right? So when you have a subject and a predicate and a subject and a predicate, when you have a sentence, who the sentence is about, what they're doing, but then you kind of, it bleeds into another sentence without ending your first thought with a period, okay? So there are multiple sentences that are kind of jammed together, not really jammed, but just joined together without proper punctuation, okay? So some things that we can do to fix run-on sentences, we can break them up into separate sentences. We could add something called coordinating conjunctions. Remember that for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or, so. We can add any of those with a comma. We talked about those commas and coordinating conjunctions to join two sentences together. Or we can add a semicolon. That's kind of something less common, but something you can do. Okay, so let's talk about, or let's watch this video real quick that they'll go in a little bit more depth on that.
Hello, grammarians. Hello, Rosie.
Hi, David.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Today we are going to talk about run-ons and comma splices. So a run-on sentence is what happens when two independent clauses are put together in one sentence without any punctuation or coordinating conjunctions like and, but, or. So, Rosie, what is a good example of a run-on sentence?
We bought nails. We bought a hammer.
Yeah, so we can see that this sentence contains two individual independent clauses. So we've got number one, we bought nails. Number two, we bought a hammer. Now, there are a couple of different ways we could make this a legal sentence, but right now, as it stands, this is a run-on, right?
So there are a couple ways we could fix this sentence. One way would be just to add a semicolon in there. So you've got two independent clauses.
We bought nails, semicolon, we bought a hammer.
Right. Another way you could do that would be to just add a comma and then the conjunction and. So you're connecting those two clauses.
So this is a run-on sentence without this and this comma, and it's called that because it's sort of like a runaway train. You know, it doesn't have enough stoppage in it. That's how I would put it. So that's what a run-on sentence is. And now I want to talk about comma splicing. And the word splice, not a super common term if you are neither a sailor or a film editor, but splicing is a word that originally meant to take two ropes, untangle them, and weave them back together. It's a sailor's term related to rope lines. In our case, for grammar, a splice, a comma splice, is an inappropriate joining of two independent clauses by using a comma. So
I'm going to stop right there because we don't really care about that. What I did want you to focus on was the run-on part, okay? They're just kind of, it's a sentence that goes on and on and on without proper stoppage, right? Without stopping in the right place, right? So they showed me a couple ways we could make the sentence right. We could add a semicolon, we could add a comma and a conjunction, like they did with comma and. So that's how we would fix a run-on sentence, okay? So what I want you to do today, what I want you to focus on, is if you look in Google Classroom, there's a game that I want you to play. It's on WordWall. So if you go to that game, I want you to play that for about 10, 15 minutes, okay? It's a pretty fun game. I found it the other day. I thought it would be neat just to kind of practice. And it practices both run-on sentences and sentence fragments, what we talked about yesterday or the previous day. So, all right, guys, I hope you all have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you soon.